So I recently came into something called a sun kettle. I got it at a yard sale or equivalent. And it's a solar evacuated tube. It does look a bit like something out of Darth Vader's torture kit. But allegedly it boils water with using the energy of the sun in about 90 minutes. So I thought I'd test it. So here it is. Here we are at 90 minutes. Let's see what's going on. It's certainly hot. It's not quite boiling, but it's nearly there. I can see it starting to shimmer. I reckon probably another maybe 20 minutes. Of course we are in full sun, full tropical sun here. Let me just... Okay, so here we are at the 2-hour mark. Oop, did I pop that off like that? Is that boiling? I reckon that's definitely on the brink. I'll give it another 15 minutes and come back. Okay, well, we're back again. Yeah, it's boiling, it's on the boil, look at that. If I can get it in camera for you. Boiling water. 2 hours and 15 minutes. Corner of that gauge, 99 degrees C, we'll call that boiling. Well, that's it then. Time for a cup of tea. Nice English tea bag. That's what I'm talking about. So, pros and cons of the sun kettle. Pros, it definitely boils water. Not in 90 minutes, not even in this kind of environment. 2 hours, I think it was a little over 2 hours to bring water to the boil. But of course, advantage, you can sterilise water in the bush. Disadvantage, it's quite large. I don't think it's the sort of thing that you can lug around with you. The other disadvantage is, the reason I don't have it in my hand at the moment is because I broke it. I dropped it and the vacuum flask shattered. So it's relatively, I wouldn't call it delicate, but it's certainly prone to damage. You drop it once, it's finished. But it's certainly an interesting thing to play with. But of course it got me thinking. So, can I get water in a canteen up to pasteurizing temperature? That's not necessarily boiling. Obviously boiling is the best way to sterilise water and it's the best visual indicator. But actually, as soon as the temperature gets up to around 149 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 60 degrees C, you have killed pretty much everything. I think the only thing that survives prolonged exposure at that temperature is hepatitis B, is it? Hepatitis C, I think. And you've got to get it up a few degrees, and even that is killed. So I thought I'd experiment with a few bits and pieces and see how hot I could get a canteen to see if I could get up to pasteurizing temperature. So I took one of these, one of my canteens, and sprayed it matte black, barbecue paint, normal high temperature barbecue paint. Then I took one of these, cut the top off, and then fitted one within the other. And of course that's to provide the sort of insulation, a bit of a buffer so the temperature isn't lost, to sort of make the greenhouse effect. And then just to sort of block up the gap, I just put a piece of cloth around the top here, just to sort of make it all in its own little environment there and see if it got hotter and hotter. And here it is. Now I got pretty good results. I definitely got up to pasteurizing temperature. And and I did a bit more fooling around. I always carry one of, if I got it in here, when I say I always carry it, yes I do. I always carry one of these, you know, for the fire lighting things. It's actually a chart reader, it produces a chart reader. It's a Fresnel lens, 9x7. Easy to just put in your backpack. And by taking one of these, a Fresnel lens, and jury-rigging something to try and magnify the rays of the sun that were falling on what I'd set up there, the canteen, I definitely got it up to 60 degrees C, and I believe I could probably get it a bit hotter with the right sort of conditions. That was on a not particularly constantly sunny day. And before you say, oh, it's all right in the sunshine where you are and all that, remember, it's not the ambient temperature that dictates how hot you can get it. It literally is the sunlight, it's the UV radiation from the sunlight. So there you go. All you have to do, it's possible, all you have to do is have one of your canteens sprayed matte black to help things. You can accelerate things with a Fresnel lens, but actually it gets quite hot enough to pasteurize, certainly better than nothing. In a sort of emergency situation where, say, you perhaps couldn't light a fire. So that's it. There's my Canteen Cup Tuesday for this week. Hope you found it useful. Sunshine in a cup. Cheers. Oh yeah, you can taste the sunshine.